Hi, I'm Bruce Barrett with Windermere Commercial Real Estate. We're here today with one of our favorite commercial lenders, Dan Stake with Mid-Oregon Credit Union. Dan, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Dan Stake, the Commercial Markets Director for Mid-Oregon Credit Union. Mid-Oregon Credit Union is a 65-year-old company that was founded in 1957. We have 7 locations. We service all here in Central Oregon.
We have some questions ready for Dan. We are interested mostly in what's going on here locally in our economy. And so, Dan, what type of loans are you working with mostly right now?
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Yeah, right now we're seeing, as we can well imagine, a lot of construction activity throughout all of our communities. Primarily business, in the business lending arena, we're seeing a lot of real estate, both purchases and acquisitions of real estate. Again, construction, equipment financing, and of course, business lines of credit.
So Dan, Central Oregon is certainly a lot of activity here with commercial businesses, a lot of businesses coming in. What are you seeing? What is the most active area, the most active city, region, or industry?
Yeah, really, Bruce, it's been interesting because all of our locations are seeing a lot of activity. And certainly we're seeing a fair amount of development activity. For example, in Madras, we're doing a development for a manufactured housing subdivision, which is progressing very, very well. In comparison, we were doing some development work down in La Pine for some residential properties that are going to be going in right off of Highway 97. Near our La Pine Mid-Oregon Credit Union office. That being said, we also have seen some additional financing requests in Sisters, some retail related, some manufacturing related as well. It's been kind of across the board, but it kind of coincides with what the local economies are doing here within Central Oregon.
So Dan, let's talk about the types of loan applications you get. What's more challenging for your finance organization, and when you see an application, what presents a challenge to you?
Well, thanks, Bruce. Yeah, one of the things that we see with our business applicants, we understand that every business operates differently. We know that's what makes them unique. That's what allows them to have success in what they're doing. The one thing that we found challenging along the way, and it's been, the last 2 years we're going through COVID, some industries impacted by COVID have had a decrease in their financials, in their financial wherewithal. So what we've been trying to do, and you try to understand our businesses and our business members as best we can, we try to understand where they were before COVID began, where they've journeyed through COVID and where they're at now, and then try to take a logical look at where we can take things moving forward and find that this was an unprecedented time, a gigantic speed bump along the way for many.
Right.
And fortunately, one of the things we were able to do with that was provide some financing with the SBA program. It's provide PPP loans to those business members that in the community that were in need of those. And thankfully, for Mid-Oregon Credit Union and nationally, we took full advantage of that for our business members, and we provided an upwards of almost 500 loans, payroll protection plan loans for our members, to almost up to $15 million in credit. Additionally with that, we also did EIDL loans, the EIDL loans. We helped facilitate those as well, which assisted many businesses that were having struggles meeting certain business demands throughout the process.
So Dan, what can a borrower do if somebody just thinking about coming to you to talk about commercial lending options? What can they do to get prepared?
One of the things that a business member that's looking for a credit request can do, we understand that businesses operate very differently, even though they may be very similar. But one of the biggest things is to know where that business has been, their history, where they want to be, where they hope to be. A complete package certainly helps out at the beginning, but we are always happy to help out in getting some additional information if necessary as well too, and it helps expedite and speed up the process.
To Mid-Oregon Credit Union itself as an organization, why would that be a good choice for a potential borrower?
We're a local company. We're wholly located here in Central Oregon. We have, been around for 65 years. We know a lot of members of the business community, not just the business community, but those individuals that live in our communities. Many of our members are our neighbors, our friends. One of the things that we do from the business standpoint is we try to take the same approach by understanding the business so we can help partner their growth in a way that is beneficial for our said communities that we serve. I think one of the things that's unique to Mid-Oregon is we really do take the time to know who our businesses are, and we try to cater what those needs are, both depository and credit.
So Dan, in commercial lending, there's probably scenarios that are more favorable than others. Are there any red flags when somebody comes in and says, I want a particular type of loan? Is that something you have a concern about right up front, or there's those markers that you have in place?
Yeah, there are definitely certain types of credit requests that are a little bit more unique than others. One of the things that we do see on occasion is businesses that are probably a little earlier on in the game, getting the financing needs in place, or maybe to the point where they may need to talk with the folks at SCORE. And I know, Bruce, you've been a part of SCORE for a number of years, as has the credit union. But what that can do is help develop a more detailed business plan that allows a little bit more direction on what's going to be needed for that next step of the business, what other financing needs might be necessary, and what we could do to step in to help make those possible, and what we'll be looking for. We'll be looking for some historical financial information, preferably as it moves along, and we can also identify that. We can also review that as we go, and help make some suggestions on things that perhaps would be more beneficial for obtaining financing. So one of the biggest things we see when a business comes to us that maybe doesn't have a lot of experience, they may have experience and understanding, may have worked in the trade, but one of the things that can be challenging is the capital needed to get into that said industry. Sometimes that takes resources to the likes of a partner, a family member, things like that. And then what we do is we help, along with SCORE, track and try to follow and get a track record put together and kind of put a game plan together for what that next step of financing can be if needed down the road. The hope is that we can have minimal amount of credit extended and have the businesses be so successful they'll just continue to bring deposits in and continue to live happily ever after.
Do you see a synergy? I know we've worked together on some projects. Is there a synergy between the commercial real estate broker and a lender? How do you see that falling or coming together?
Yeah, that's a very key and very important part of a commercial real estate transaction, Bruce. One of the things that we really want to make sure is that everybody, the buyer, the seller, all parties that are involved in the acquisition of real estate, that we're all on the same page. All that includes the title company as well too. We want to make sure that title and escrow is also well prepared for what's coming up. There's always deadlines with commercial real estate acquisitions and purchases, so the best to try to get everybody on the same page and know what those schedules are and try to best meet them so that we don't get down to the wire and there's some loose ends. There is always going to be loose ends with anything involving commercial real estate, but to try to minimize those is kind of, I think, the goal of all of ours.
Dan, it's really appreciate you taking time today to share some insights about commercial lending. It's been really helpful for our viewers and for me as well. And I've enjoyed our opportunity to work together on commercial real estate transactions. Let's continue the process. If we have some clients, we're certainly going to have that opportunity and get you involved. I'm Bruce Barrett. You're with Windermere Commercial Real Estate, your local commercial real estate resource. Thank you for listening.